prominent sports journalists under the Zim Papers Sports Hub. To my left, I have Eddie Chikami, and to my right, we have Don Makanyanga, the three of us talking all things cricket. It's been a very busy week in terms of Zimbabwean cricket. Several national teams in action or just about to get in action in very serious competitions. So we have plenty to discuss this Thursday. And thank you very much for joining us. This program, of course, is going out live on all of our digital platforms under the Zim Papers Sports Hub. So you can catch us on the Herald, the Chronicle, as well as Star FM, Capitalk, as well as ZTN Prime, the Sunday Mail as well. All of our digital platforms will be carrying this podcast. So let's get straight into it. As I said, we do not have too much time. We have so much to talk about. I want to start off, of course, with the ongoing ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup that we have been co-hosting with Namibia. We're now awaiting the final that will be played on Friday. It's a very big one indeed. India taking on England, but we want to focus, of course, mostly on our own young Chevron'S. A very difficult tournament in the end. We played 4 matches, losing all 4 of them. A 5th one was lined up, of course, if you don't forget, against Scotland. Sadly, that match had to be abandoned without a ball being bowled. So we'll focus on the matches that we did play. We talked about it in last week's edition of the show, us losing to England, Pakistan as well. So now we're going to talk about our final game, Bangladesh, over the weekend on Saturday. Starting with you, Eddie. Another very heavy defeat by 74 runs. Again, colored by maybe one standout performer. This time was the captain, Simba Mdzengerere. He came up with 70 runs. But it's always the case in these defeats that it'd be one boy who comes up with a good performance, but he just doesn't have someone else to support him, whether it was the ball with the bat, and that's just been the story of the tournament. Another disappointing performance. Just your thoughts on how we performed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, Rokudzo, that we had to finish the whole tournament winless. And you know, when you're hosting a tournament of that magnitude, you need that feel good story. You go to at least win or something, cannot pin out to the next stage. But unfortunately, with our boys, Jagaramba, as you mentioned, which are not team yedu yema under 19 yanga ingofira pano 1 pakuti havasi kukwanisa kubheta. I don't think kuti material tinayo it's the best that we should be parading per World Cup under 19. I think like we mentioned last week, ZC ine basa rakakura, because under 19 in the level inoratidza kuti where are you going in terms of your game, because we are talking kuti these guys will be representing the national team maybe in the next 4-5 years if they do make it, and it doesn't look good. I
think that's to say the least, though, obviously, Eddie. But Don, coming in on this one, as I said, we lost very big games. We're not losing to minnows. We lost to England, we lost to India, we lost to Pakistan, and then Bangladesh. Maybe that one's debatable. But given the fact that as well, only 3 of the players that we've seen taking part in this tournament, the Blacknot twins, as well as then Webster, Didi, those are the only 3 that are going to be eligible to play in 2028, which we have to qualify for, don't forget. Because of how poor we performed this year, we're going to have to qualify for that tournament. Are we reading too much into the future of Zimbabwean cricket? Because a lot of these players are going to move on. Maybe the new crop will be able to improve our performances. Should we be so despondent by how poorly we performed this time around?
Thanks, Rukudzo. Maybe at least the first thing that we should be talking about is this is a two-way thing. The first one is that at least we are going to be having 3 players who are going to be eligible to play in 2028. That is a good thing for us. Let's take at least we are guidance in Ingeribo. But coming back to issue at our performance. Obviously, what I was there as Indian is when Afghanistan was tipped to be one of the big games. You saw what India did against Afghanistan, and we know Afghanistan is one of my teams at Sumuga. What was England against Australia? Not also not we tried our best, but obviously that does not take the fact away. Our development needs to be looked at. But obviously now what we need to focus on is the development. Like what Ed was saying, this is a benchmark with development. And obviously with 3 players that are going to be eligible, we now need almost 8 players to make a team for the next World Cup. And I believe kuti ivo pachitaura World Cup, from this we now begin to see kuti World Cup they needed to win, they needed to do better. But if it was talking about development, looking at the next World Cup, they had 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, but now looking at the composition team, I to do something, but and it comes back much by issue development. Was this the best that we could get?
But the thing is, if we're going to talk about development, we talked about it last week as well. There's so many controversies surrounding key selection policies and the actual makeup of the team. But yes, as you said, Webster Madidi is 15 years old. The Blacknote teams are 17 years old. So the Blacknote teams are going to be the quintessential senior players in their team. Everyone's going to be looking up to them, and they've been playing well again. They immediately went back to their high schools and started playing cricket, schools cricket this past week. So we'll wait and see if they manage to develop their game and improve on what they've shown us in this particular tournament. But yes, it is time for us to move on in terms of the Under-19 Cricket World Cup while waiting India and England in that final. Very briefly, gents, how do you expect that one to go? Who do you feel is going to be the best Under-19 cricket team in the world? Start with you, Ed.
Yeah, I think pakaipa. Yeah, because we got a quality irimo both teams. I say kutamba nayo. Those guys, they takavapa masini edu tinorova.
Hapo ndo zakaona ngezuva ngari mawani mara vaindia ba.
Yeah, because
yeah,
I think those guys, they take development seriously, and my structures, how I think it's a reflection. Yeah, my systems. Both we atirambe chidzokera kumashure takambozvitaura last week kuti tinofana kushanda masystems edine zvakadaro but uchaona it's a reflection. Zvinongoramba zvichidzoka as long as tisina kugadzirisa maissues akaita sewaoka ticharamba tichingookera vamwe vachitamba mafinal at our backyard. At least taifana kupindoka namusuper 6
yeah, I think it's a valid point. Maybe ZC has got so much to learn from this after hosting. Ireland yatamba, England yatamba, Australia yatamba. Maybe that interaction it close face to face. Maybe chavabatsirawo kana vari vanhu vaikwanisa vaida kudzidza vachimbonobvunza vanhu vakauya kuti mukuzviitawo sei kuti tisvike patiri apa. Hoping kuti 28 would be a different team that we have who compete better. But also talking about just maybe drawing me back a bit. Uchitaura paisha tachitaura yana Kian the brilliant twins.
Michael.
You'd find kuti because Bennett is now playing national team. He's a product of this T20 these World Cups. Obviously, you can see kuti pane umwe wacho the other twin brother as now zokwanisa kuproduza akuda zvechikoro. And you'd find kuti tine idea yekuti maplayers aya tokwanisa kutozata anokwanisa kuina vachinoperform at the bigger stage. What needs to be done is this to make sure that we have the correct path, the correct afana kuti vaiswe panzvimbo 1. We should not let them. Obviously, it's a defeat, but we saw Masai in Zanti. It would have to at the highest level. But the problem now, they would promise but that is not what we want. Nobody team do next year.
I don't know, but I'm saying that
but both of you, Matiza mvunzo wangu.
Who's
winning Mangwana on Friday? Yeah. Who's winning? Because this is the final. This is what we've been waiting for now, okay.
I now would place my money on England. Because England, their bowling unit, I know Miramush. Aina utombogara zvakanaka zvasiyana nezvatakaona nezuro zvekuti Afghanistan they set a target 300 plus then they failed to defend it. I think it's different with England. Once makapa wakomana the platform wakabeta England wakaita such a score vemangozoti zvateta sei zvavarana.
But remember sports club vangoita but obviously
but don't vanhu vanoziva zvavanoita vana basa nekuti varitambira vakatambira kumunhu vanongowina.
I think tomorrow team no winner. You win a toss.
Whoever wins the toss, and what do we think they should choose to do?
Want to go better,
then defend.
Game, Game, toss.
We'll wait and see. So yes, those are matters to do with India and England. They'll be contesting the final of the Under-19 Cricket World Cup. I think in general, Zimbabwe and Namibia have done a fantastic job of hosting the tournament. There was a little bit of despondency about whether they'd chosen the right time of year, given the rain situation here in Zimbabwe in particular. But in the end, the rains actually ended up cooperating, and most of the matches managed to go ahead and actually going up to the end of 50 overs. So in the end, a very good job by Zimbabwe Cricket. I'm sure they'll be happy with maybe the feedback they'll get from the International Cricket Council. But when it comes to matters on the field of play, obviously, that's where the disaster was. Plenty of work, as Eddie and Don have said, in terms of getting the right development of players, the right talent as well, selecting the right players, and then hopefully the next team we see in 2028 will have 1 or 3, 4 players, I think, who can then perform well at the same time. That was the problem in this tournament, I think. You see it's a Nathaniel Slabangana this day. You see it's a Simba Mdzengere this day who's played well. It's a Leroy Chiwaula. But they would have no support in those particular games. And that's something maybe that we would have to fix for 2028. Let's talk about another national team, gents, that has had a tough time of it in recent times. We did not touch on it in last week's edition. We'll do it now. The Zimbabwe senior women's team, the Lady Chevron'S, they were at the T20 World Cup Global Qualifier that was out in Nepal. It finished last weekend for us anyway. Once again, we lost all of our games. We played 4 of them. And this time, the difference with the under-19 men's, as you said, we lost to big teams. We lost to England. We lost to Pakistan, India. In this case, they were losing to Scotland. They were losing to Nepal. They were losing to Thailand, to the Netherlands. This time, are we absolutely right to be panicking about the state of women's cricket in Zimbabwe, given the fact that we're losing to teams you would think we should easily beat? I'll start with you, Don.
Problem about you should think. But the reality check, boys. This is a topic I think not the podcast my Lady Chevron'S. But we find I think problem yacho cricket ninge ringoramba iri one. Kuti nhasi ndibeloved mangwana ndikelisi mangwana ndimodesta hatisi kunopefuma tese, but panic button needs to be pressed. We relied too long nevamwe vanhu vatakuona kuti iko zvino maybe age is now caught up with them ndivacho vari kuendamo, but issue yayo inongodzokwa development. I think maybe Edu will agree with me kuti imalady Chevron'S ida kuti timboita iri yega.
Yeah, uko kuniva ndokumwe futhi because janoti like you're saying kuti it's an aging team. No one can deny that, because as a team here, more than half the players, they are in their 30s.
Modesta, Precious.
Then you can start talking about 40s, and they've been in the system for the past 15 or so years. And it so 20 years, you can say. And it but so not at school, kwanza new talent rikubva ku pass up. And it because what such not even wafana waskana vachidika wakapinda mukati meteam, the likes of ana Kelly's neoma diki warimo, which are not vari kuratidza kuti if those girls vakanyazopuwa mukana vanotamba that game. But imagine yekuti tinobva taramba chirelay on the same people over and over again 10-15 years nasikuona ma new players are kuya on the scene. What is happening pane vari kutamba wacho paground ine?
Let me push back on that though, because I focus on the usual, on the veterans who've been around the block and it. But when I'm looking at maybe the last scorecard against Nepal, the big performance there was beloved Biza. She scored 34, and Kelinslov who scored 52. So that means the team is now slowly starting to be led by the younger players. So now, instead of maybe you're bashing the older players and saying there are too many of them there, but the ones that are still there, they can still contribute. Surely, especially being around the block, you can help and do your part to lift the team behind the efforts of Bafana.
Opportunity.
Opportunity, and they're not leading the team.
Lady Chevron'S next week. Lady Chevron'S next week.
We'll certainly look at it.
Takutara kuti susu vafana vacho varupuwa mukana but havasi kushandisa. It means kuti there is something wrong, and it vafana hadisku alright inini ndiri kuti ngatiwane alright 3/4 ye team at least ine talent riri kuita sei ratiri kuona kuti this is new kana kuti fresh from the conveyor belt ZC development programs. But shanoti vatiri kuona nyaya yatiri kuramba rikudzo ndeye recycling.
Okay, so
recycling with the same results.
Okay, so same results. And what else, these girls, they've been playing qualifiers, I think, for the past 10 to 12 years. And it apana gana one program qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, we always get through the Africa qualifier. We always get to the Africa qualifier, get to the global qualifier, and then now but okay, so what you're saying is we need more beloved Bizas and more Kellis and Lovers.
More Kellis and Lovers. And I believe they are there. takadzokera kugrassroots
ndosati inoda kuti iri show yega because waika but wasatozvoudza kuti the likes of ana Marian wakatanga kutamba ine ma15 years anga she was not part of the team but to find kuti atanga kutamba ne15 years she performed at the highest standing iko zvino she should be around 34 35 pane two generations
but don't that's not mazita but tukatasa
mazita anodiwa
Marian asimu ndosanamba takatanga ine 15 years vana beloved vakatanga ine ma15 years to expect beloved anozosvika 30 muona zvezvichiitika pazvinhu izvi kuti nyaya yedevelopment kuti gap re15 years tikutadza kuti feel why how
ndo panoita problem ipapo rikudza kuti the more yatinoramba tichirecycla maplayers they will feel entitlement kuti whatever happens inini mutimu ndirimo of which vane vari kutovharira magap kuna vafanira vari pasi apa nditi saka we need kuti ZC ite something kuti tiwane those guys vapowe competition nenew talent kuita sei riri kusimuka izvozvo ndo zvikushayikwa saka tiri kuti isusu ZC ngaiite basa rayo rekudevelopa vana vanotamba cricket vachiita sei vopa competition to those guys vamaseniors handiti so that kana competition yawanda pool inenge yaita sei yakura takuona pekuita sei pekusarudza maplayers akawanda but izvozvo hatisi kuzviona hapasi kugadzirikwa
it comes back kunyaya yemacontracts yaimbotaura last week I think macontracts afanirwa kupiwa kama-performance based contracts
okay ipapo panyaya yeperformance I want to hone in on that one kuti what went wrong in this qualification because we always pointed it in terms of the senior men's team and even my under 19s avafana nyaya yebatting is that also a situation as well nevakadzi kuti we can't mount good batting partnerships that give us scores we can defend or we can chase what is the actual problem department yacho yekuda kugadzira
maproblems edu kamatarisa mateams edu ese they are universal akangofanana zviri kuma-under 19 kwakomana ndo zviriko ku-senior men ndo zviriko kuvasikana anditi betting anditi rikuona then nenyaya yeconsistency they cannot perform consistently
back to
back anditi and uchana kuti even nenyaya yekuti sometimes they freeze kana vasvika pane imwe stage like the last world cup T20 yevarume we reached the super 12 but then magames ataifanira kuwina ataifunga kuti tinofanira kuwina alright because isusu hatisina timu yatinoti takurowa because dzese dzatangotamba nadzo tatozongomirira zvapera kuti ndo result yabuda magame ataifanira kuwina against Netherlands neBangladesh takarowa andikuona the same nevasikana you mentioned iwo kuti matimu akatirowa watozvitaura kuti matimu madiki hatinofanira kutorowa
supposedly we're not sure now kuti
matimu madiki because isu takatarisa nelevel yedu yatiri matimu madiki maassociate mazhinji acho ari kutirowa handiti saka isusu tatodzika kuenda kulevel ravo and vatova neconfidence yekuti takatamba nezimbabwe isusu toirowa saka isusu tikuti isusuka whether maled Chevron'S or machevron's ngatigadzirisei maproblems edu like yatataurai yekuti we need a pool yakakura yemaplayers yekuti macoaches nemaselectors vanosarudza maplayer the best that we have not kuti tiite nemanational teams edu into small clubs evanhu vanongoziva kuti tinozongonakirwa then kana pasina result nothing happens.
Don, do we have the adequate structures in Zimbabwe, women's cricket, to produce level of talent? That's the question now. Fine, let's just talk about it coming back home in Zimbabwe, because for the most part, these ladies are playing here.
But structures now.
So are they, okay, is it good enough?
But the
question is now, is it good enough?
We've got enough manpower.
Is it good enough?
It is good enough because mama levels you find it when mama coaches are winning.
It can't be good. It can't be good enough. Not
good enough.
It can't be good enough.
But we have got the same coaches. We are winning. Akabuda munomunga. Akuno be from the highest level. Ni mama teams and mama structures. Andi. A coach will do makamzosa munomoti iyoga. Apart from that, coaches Zimbabwe is part of my test playing nations. Andi.
And we should show that on the pitch.
On the pitch, exactly. No part of that umuzobvunza edi kana mvunza wewe rukudzo. Kuti pamwe batura machiti ZC should be doing but akazoti ZC apana team sabo ma preparations adequate isha yinozodzoka kupi ku selection both akazoda ZC inopinda
so do asibasa ra ZC rero
ibasa ra ZC but kuti asibasa for good differentiate ati kuti ZC tuta at large both akati board zvikwadza yomana ene mutina skana ene mutina both skana akatombenda ku South akatombenda ku India In preparation of these things.
I don't dispute that, Don. But who are we giving those preparations? Are they the best that we should be having? in that structure?
emacoaches hai ndopanofana
Yeah,
kugadzirisa
makochi futi kune nyaya dzavo but tinongatipotaure about our playing material.
dzinoda podcast yayo
Tombotaura our playing material kuti are they the best that we have? I don't think they are the best. I think we need to go down there and look for more players. I propose, if I'm given the platform, kuti ngatidisbandei ma-late Chevron'S edu. Then we start afresh.
Disband to what point? Where would then would be starting from? Completely afresh in terms of under at a high school level, and then we see those girls go up to an under 19 and then senior team. How when you say completely disband, where are we starting from? Because obviously you have to start from somewhere.
Yeah, of
where
course.
are we starting from?
I think no particular structures. I'm sure, like Don said, kuti kune zviri kuitwa. Ikoko kuri zviri kuitwa ngakuchiitwa zvinhu zviri serious. Totangira ipapo, totangira kana pa under 19 and it. We have got 2 more years to prepare for the next qualifiers. And I think it's
enough time.
It's good enough to prepare a new team inogona kuva competitive. Yeah. Vanokwanisa kana kuti those who are capable vari team, obviously everyone is selected by merit. Vanongodzoka still, but what we are clamoring for is nyaya yekuti hatidi kuramba tichirecycle ma-players. We need new fresh talent kuti timbonawo and I don't believe kuti
but I think we raised this
ndiri kuramba ndikodzoka ipapo we don't want recycling of players vasiri kuunza ma-results.
Okay, that's the question.
If they were bringing the results, there was not going to be a problem. But my results are kuuya.
But cricket is a game of statistics, and
of course it
you've
is.
Got your precious Marange playing against this 14-year-old. Also, 100. That's
why I then asked you, Kutichi, the structures in Zimbabwe, developing the right level of player. Because as you said, even in senior men's cricket, you see someone doing very well at Logan Cup level or domestic T20 and then you think, I know he has to play for the national team. Then he goes and puts up a duck against England or Pakistan, and you'll be like, not good enough. So the problem is now is our barometer, our measuring stick for how good you are. Coming from Zimbabwean cricket is not good enough.
It's not good enough.
It's here. That's the problem. Everything starting from the ground.
Our systems, they are not good enough.
So I've asked this question on radio before. Now can maybe applied to you guys because you also are very deep in cricket. Is it a stage of, are we at the stage now where we need to be outsourcing some of our so-called very best players to South African cricket? To Australia, India, like their domestic structures, if they'll allow us, if they'll accept us? Is it a question of we can't keep depending on Logan Cup and Pro 50 Championship in there?
And I think it works, Rukutsu.
Yeah.
We second them maybe to provincial structures, Kuna South Africa.
Or like what used to be in the past.
South Africa. And my own level, a competition, you expose Gogarika, Yangatori. High up there, and they became better anyway.
In just coming big, just doing a bit big. One of under 19, I two tatats away. Monomaisa mu franchise system in South Africa. Both no run in South Africa. Chimbotipe Havana, Tamba exposure. What's that today exposure?
Exposure.
Very good you. What's the exposure runs in Dini now? We reach them at the Tambaga. Obvious about it.
So women's cricket will also do that as well. Do you feel? Is that possible?
Not women's cricket. Oh, national teams there.
Yeah, but my problems are there anyway, so
Angofanana.
Yeah, saka we need to exposure to higher level competition. At least you not gonna go out how are they faring kana chitambo even domestic South Africa. And it's if we can ship Vuma, we've got our friends and India and Pakistan, Bangladesh.
Okay, so that's to do with the Lady Chevron'S. A very tough trip for them to Nepal for the ICC T20 World Cup Global Qualifier, losing all of their matches there. Hopefully to a much better situation for the senior men's team. They are now in Sri Lanka, of course, preparing for the men's T20 World Cup. That is due to start, tomorrow? Or is it Saturday? On Saturday. And then we are playing ourselves on Monday. We're starting off against Oman. Bad news. At the time of recording this podcast, Zimbabwe has just lost its second and final warm-up match ahead of that World Cup against Oman. Gents, I don't even know where to begin here. Before we even look ahead to the actual tournament proper, we have to discuss our performances with T20 warm-ups. We started off against the Netherlands on Tuesday. At one point in that game, we were 95 for 6.
Yeah.
And then we ended up managing to recover, and then he scored 178, and we defended that. This time again, we failed to defend 187. Don, talk to me. It was supposedly strong in bowling and fielding. When you're talking about 187 in a T20 match in 20 overs, you would think, given we're playing Oman, and this time, there's absolutely no doubt about it, Oman should be a team we dispatch with ease.
Yeah.
We failed to defend 187.
Nobody benefit of the doubt because it game yakachikwanisa 15 players dzakaenda sezvo vangoitika musi wetuesday satombopa benefit of the doubt maybe it was just a warm up try my combinations. But if it is the best that we had today, then disaster is looming on Monday. Techibvunza takumana tarowa neomani.
That is the best we had today. Because if I'm looking at...
I don't have 15 players we're supposed to play. We are retired.
Yeah, we should not read much into this result.
There's no excuse.
It's a warm-up.
There's no
after all. Yeah, it's a warm-up game after all.
So then I'm now questioning their professionalism. If you're saying it's just a warm-up game, why am I seeing people like Ryan Bell scoring one? Ryan Bell scored one. Tony Munyonga scored a duck. Clive Madande scored a duck in a warm-up match. And you're telling me now I shouldn't be worried because I have to be calling up their professionalism.
Because I think maybe
we shouldn't be reading much into the result because obviously my warm-up games ndekuda kuona kuti kugeja kuti our players were they like Donny is saying kuti 15 players were eligible kuti vatambe vese and it but we lost. It's not good to lose. Taruza 4 wickets. Seven.
Watondirasa pazasi pecricket papatonzi did not bet papane 8 more players 6 more players did not bet.
Yeah, isusu angu kuti in terms of result haina significant pandi kuti we should not look much into it inyaya yekuti haina significance yakanyanya kukura kuti like pamarankings kana kuti tournament wise haina zvakawanda. But what is important probably ndezvekuona kuti our team, are we now ready for the World Cup? And it losing to Oman is not good, but our combinations coming up. My combination are we my players and their positions, are they taking up, are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? And today obviously zvakanakira warm up foot inongokuratidzai kuti pamune ma weakness ndepapi, and it the same weakness that we had against Netherlands, the middle order collapse, is the same that we had today.
And is that now not concerning? Result
is not. Saka we should be concerned about the performance.
Which leads to the result.
Result yekuti nhasi tadyiwa. Tadyiwa as far as we shouldn't be losing to Oman.
But the result kuti performance kuti tatarwa ma 100 trade 4 players kutorwa ma 100. Then it gives you a psychological boost to pay some money. And I think Mazira sometimes are right. To be honest, the legs were 20 Madandi. They were not going to pull up their success if they were on 50 up. Exactly. But the zero guy, yes, I think Anthony is serious business. That's now what Mazira might die. I hope I'm eating some money.
So we should be worried about this performance, the individual performance. Those are not results. Inabasa, but how did you perform my individuals? Ndosaka parunzi paratamba 15 kuti mwene mwaita chi aonekwe kuti akamira sei anditi and ukuzivi kuti there are some who even retired like ana BT, but inangu I thought kuti akurumidza kuretire tida unyazomuona mukomana wekuti nekuti kubva paakazoka mukomana weka asati anyazotiratidza kuti
zvakapedza energy nasi Monday atitamba
nekuti mukatasa ma statistics amenoti akutopinda here kokurikudza kana kuti
asati but go on.
Ndikatasa ma-statistics ake atoratidza kuti kubva paakadzoka mukomana haasati anyatsoita chaizvo apart from the game reBotswana pamaqualifier rakarwa 123 pamwe pese apa tisati tanyatsoona the old BT watoita sei watinoziva. Saka I thought kuti akurumidza ke kuretire dai amboti tambe tanyatsoasvika kana kuzvi50 kwasvika vamwe then ozoita sei ozoretire zvake.
Okay. You pointed out nyaya yekuti mid order collapse and it's happened ka 2 now and that's the biggest worry. Yeah, but we've known that for years.
Yeah.
But pakuzotadza defender 187 and it supposedly were good at bowling and fielding. We brought in Courtney Walsh, the legendary West Indies bowler, one of the greatest fast bowlers we've ever seen. He's supposed to be helping us in terms of, the likes of Blessing Mzarabani, helping them to get wickets and terrorize batsmen with their pace. Today we failed to defend 187. Don, is that also something you also be reading a little bit into, because it only happened today?
Yeah, not talking about only today, but if you are to analyze our games, maybe in the past, our recent games that we've played, you'd find that the problem that we are having at national level, maybe be it the under-19s, be it the lady Chevron'S, be it the Chevron'S, the problem that we have failed to have the bowling and the batting unit complementing each other.
Yeah.
You'd find that at a given time, it's either the bowling that is performing at its best, or it's the batting that is putting up a shift.
Usually it's the bowling.
No, you'd find the two they do not usually complement each other.
Yeah, I know, I hear you, but I'm saying when it's one is usually bowling.
You'd find Papa betting, but you'd find we can post a good way, like what happened today. 188 was a modest target. It could have been defended, but you find our betting comes up, like what happened today. And I can tell you, it is going to happen next week. Parutanga World Cup. But either it's the betting, we've won the toss, Taisa 160, 180, which can be defended in T20. But bowling actually no euro. Because this can be defended. And at least I think now the biggest issue now is now to try to find my solutions to this. Could the betting and the bowling should complement each other if we are going to proceed with the Super 8?
That's been a problem in terms of Zimbabwean cricket for years now. But Eddie, I'm looking at the scorecard here, and 4 of our bowlers had economy rates over 10. Blessing Mzarabani, we know his experience. Brad Evans, Wellington Masakaza, Graham Creamer. They all had economy rates over 10 today against Oman. Mm-hmm. And we're going to play the same team on Monday. Their confidence is going to be through the roof, thing with how we can beat them when it's now cricket proper. I'm coming back to you. Our so-called best department is what let us down badly today. How worried are you? Let's now look forward to the tournament. How worried are you when they're not going to take on the likes of Australia and Sri Lanka later, and Ireland as well later on?
Yeah, we should be worried about these performances of our players. Obviously, if you look at how our bowlers played today, it wasn't good at all to look at. We have got 188 to defend. 187.
187.
It's a score yekuti munokwanisa kudefend against a team like Oman. But today we failed it. Inangu ndinotora this game as a paper one. Paper one tafoira. Saka tine mukana wekuti during the weekend I think pane basa rinofana kuitwa, but like you pane mvunzo wamambobvunza pekutanga pepe rukudzo uchibvunza kuti zviri kubatsira here kuti tina consultant Courtney Walsh aripo akauya. Yeah, Courtney Walsh is a legend. And akashanda nemateams like akatomboshanda futi newasikana at some point.
2024
akashanda futi neWest Indies if I'm not mistaken, men's team, akashanda neBangladesh zvakare,
Sri Lanka.
Saka experience anayo. But nini my concern manje inozongoya pakuti handizivi kuti zvinoshanda sei, but that issue yekuti tinozoreza consultant for kwasara 2 weeks kana 3 weeks World Cup itange zvinonyatsoshanda. Ini kwandiri handione zvinyatsoshanda. Mentoring yacho ikwandira haishandi because hapasina time yakakura yekuti anoshanda nawo nawo. Zvatadza kuitwa nacoach Charles Langeveld for the past 1 year zvaanozokwanisa kuzobuditsa in 14 days. Saka ini kwandiri ndoona sekunge it's a waste of resources zvekuita zvemaconsultants. Ngativashaidzei tichiri kuprepare.
Yeah.
And it's towaraidza here and there vachiuya kana after every 6 months kana after every 3 months vachishanda nawakomana wedu, not kuti takuenda kutournament then ndo patinozovadaidza kwasara 2 weeks. Saka nhasi result kana zvaitwa mabowlers zvingokuratidza kuti hapana chachinja pavakomana vedu. Saka hapana magic inogona kuunzwa nemunhu in 2 weeks zvisina kuitwa gore rese rapfuura.
The only hope we have for today's match anyway, I'm hoping, is pamwe yanga itori nyaya yecomplacency vachingoti warm up kutamba neOman, because if we reproduce that on Monday, we're in serious trouble. And that's actually the perfect way to start a tournament. So against a so-called minnow associate nation, you want to start off and get a very good.
I don't think
net
these
run
guys
rate
were
as well.
complacent. Because they've been losing to these small teams, even
I said the hope
that
is.
matters.
I said it's the hope, Don.
Yeah.
I said it's the hope.
Yeah,
It's a hope.
but I want to come back to the issue that one idea. It's too late. It's not too late to consultant. We've got a bowling coach. I don't mean Rezos, who was employed last year at the bowling.
Yes.
Because that we also so but I'm going to subcontinent. But I think he was chosen because of what of where we are going to play, the subcontinent. And
But the challenge is
but a consultant is just chipping in. I agree.
Let's hope.
Let's not get into the minds of these guys.
And I think it's a wake up call. Yeah, most what I say, you could by halfway mark per 10 overs. And they were 107. And was I want to register to game. Was almost 77 runs, 9 overs.
At least.
And what was not it team no to draw it.
Yeah.
And it was Monday.
No, the perfect thing in this situation is they can recover and they can immediately respond because that's our first game with Monday. We'll wait and see how that one comes out. If we lose that game, it's going to be another disastrous tournament. Okay, let's try and maybe be positive, gents, because everything is still ahead of us and we haven't even started the tournament properly. Let's maybe focus on the key players we're going to be looking at to hopefully fire us to a few wins and then maybe into the Super 8. For me, I'm with Brian Bennett, guys. At this stage, I know he's young, he's still inexperienced, relatively speaking, but it's very clear he's our most consistent performer. He's our opener for a reason, and he's not disappointing. Even us, he scored 56. He was a top scorer. So for me, Brian Bennett, obviously, someone we'll be leaning on. Sikandar Raza, the captain, we know what he's been doing in domestic competitions around the world. Just now, he's always SAT20. He's been fantastic. There's someone to look at as well. Who else are you guys maybe deciding, Kuti? We need them to show up every game for us to have a chance to win, Eddie.
Yeah, I also feel that bowling avana Blessing Mzarabani and Richard Ngarawa. I think they can be key players on a big stage. But nasa handizi yangu kuti vazvizva vawana but ndinoona tinofana vatinototemba nawo in fact kana tikatasa especially bowling saka ndikutotasira wangu kuti patiri kuenda kumagames next week vakomana vanofana kusimudza kecho because performance yavaratidza hatitasire kuti tiende kutournament tichitamba katambiro kakadai yet those are key players. Kana tikatotasa nyaya yekutoti makey bowlers edu tikutasa Mzarabani tikutasa Ngarawa.
Don,
yes.
What are you looking at in terms of helping us win these games?
Obviously, betting we have got Bennett. Bennett is one of the players that we can rely on, and we have Raza, Taylor.
Yes. Now, thank you. Someone has brought up the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
This man is 40. And he's 40 years old
Turning
this year.
40 on Sunday.
He's turning 40 this year.
I had for
He was brought back for this specific purpose and to help us in terms of lifting us our batting near the top of the order. Today, as you said, maybe he was unlucky. He had to retire, hurt. He was on 26 at that point. So maybe he was going to do something today. But against the Netherlands, it was a duck. Have you seen enough from Brendan Taylor to maybe put him back where he was a couple of years ago as the talisman of this team?
But like what you are just saying, this is an older BT. You can't expect the performance that he had when he played the same tournament in 2008.
2008, yeah.
Yeah. You can't expect that performance yakadaro. But my problem is, kunema players I remember this from this 15-man squad. Varutadza kusumudza roho kuti vamuchallenge. Players are being given an opportunity. We saw it recently pamaqualifiers. He had my average scores. But we know if I'm going to vasunze roho kuti varambe varimo mugame. But it seems like people are they're failing to raise their hands to challenge. Because obviously, akaita dhakira akaita pawin asi 26 radiate. If we are going to have the likes of Tony, the likes of Madandi, the likes of Maromani, scoring my better scores. The someone's any reason you that I want to BT. Like what I've said, cricket is a game of my states, it's a game of my numbers. The moment that he keeps on having my numbers are better than my players, the more that he continues to get the first pick team. So it needs to be an actually more challenge. Because it's 40.
Apologies actually for that. Brendan Taylor actually didn't play in the game against, or he played, but he didn't bat against the Netherlands last time. That's why it looked like he had a duck, but he didn't bat.
Like what I'm saying, not talking about the Netherlands match alone, but if you had to look back to my qualifiers when he played, you'd find that as my games where he performed the best. There are some times when I'll put in quotes, I was like playing a test in a T20, trying to acclimatize, trying to get in the mood. But T20 I did so much. T20 you don't have to pilot ngorova bhora muende. Ndo vanozosvika munhu anzi taseta target 100. Mofunga tisi kutadza. So I need these young players should raise their hands. But this is our next generation of of the team. Irifunga kuya apa.
Yeah, but inini manje I get a problem. Ndinoita dambudziko nekuti someone goes away for 3 years and he comes back and straight into the national team. Ipapa handinazonzi Doni tutanye ma statistics. But inangwa ndinoita dambudziko nekuti mukatasa BT achibva from his retirement aatongosvika nekupinda munational team nekutojoina team on tour. Anditi saka inini ipapo panobva ndinetsa panyaya yeselection kuti are we going down tichitsvaga like ndinogara mandichitaura kuti are we selecting the best that we have. Hakuna vamwe vafanira vari kutamba domestic yacho vari vana mastatistics ari nani and atamba magame mangani zvekuti tautomuconsider zvekuti he is now good enough for national team. Anditi saka pa mastatistics manje like you said cricket hainyepi inotaura yega. Anditi alright ngachimbotasei paadzoka pacho. How many games did he play? 13. 251 runs. But 251 runs ipapo tobvisa 123 dzakascore against Botswana in one game.
128.
Somewhere there. 12. Yeah. Then his strike rate yadzoka pachi average yadzoka pa 12 point something. Is someone with an average at 12 point something good enough kuti anotamba World Cup?
No.
It's not.
Django Zezita, I think, because of what he's done in previous years, and when he was our talisman, and that's the only reason he's on the team.
But we need results. Because takatongodyiwa kapoka hatichatodzoki zvatopera.
But obviously, if you want to go to challenge the status quo, because I don't think the return of Brendan Taylor was for him to play. But maybe just to give guidance, to lead. I was
going to bring that up. Isn't it a question of dressing room presence, experience, putting his arm around young players to help them become better?
But we've got
we can discuss this on the next episode, guys, because our time is quickly running out. I'm being told we have to end it. Don't I know Mira.
What's going to happen
very quickly, guys?
You got influence. I want to say, in the same dressing room. Do you need
we'll have this debate next week because I'm sure there will be a result for us to discuss and we can talk about this. But we have to get your prediction for Monday's match against Oman to start off our tournament. Coming off this defeat today, do you feel we have it in us to recover and properly put them in their place on Monday? Eddie?
Yeah, I think the possibility is there.
I want probability. I want probability. Okay, no, very quickly. Just say yes or no, are we winning on Monday?
Yeah, on Monday we are winning.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go with them as well. I feel we'll respond and actually put Oman back where they belong as an associate nation. We're a test-playing nation. We should beat them easily on Monday. We'll definitely be here for you on Thursday to talk about that game and as well look forward to the following one. That will be against Australia. Anyway, I think that's it for today's edition of Beyond the Boundary. A very big thanks to you for tuning in. Big thanks as well to Eddie Chikami as well as Don Makanyanga. And I'm Rukudzo Vengesa. We'll be back again, as I said, at the same time next week, Thursday, the third edition of Beyond the Boundary here on the Zim Papers Sports Hub.